Welcome back, awesome Action Toy fans and subscribers. It is Sunday the 29th of October 2023. JoyToy time, Warhammer 40k. Looking at these new releases. The Adeptus Mechanicus, we have as a Skitarii Marshal and a Cybernetica Datasmith. Looking forward to these since I first saw them announced. Let's look at the boxes. The Marshal first. Looks very, very cool. The back's nice looking steampunk sort of gun, sword and whatnot. Looks pretty cool. Just worried about that sort of cloak cape and how it's going to affect his articulation. But does look nice. And loads of a possibility of customization and whatnot if you're not into the 40k line, but you have your own universes and whatnot. And the Datasmith looks really quite cool. Really menacing on that hand there. Turn around. We can see again what he comes with in the box. Great picture at the bottom here, reaching out. Looks very nice. Two nice looking figures. Excuse my funny voice, but I've got a bit of a bunged up nose and cold at the moment, but I'm making videos anyway. Okay, me unbox him and set them up. I'll be back in an instant. Stay tuned. And here they are, two absolutely fantastic looking figures. Loads of potential if you're into robots and androids and whatnot for customization and mixing and matching parts of other lines and figures. But are they any good as standalone figures? There are some good things I've seen and some bad things I've seen, and we'll have a look at that. Let's look at accessories first. So both come with the standard base that the figures come with these days, which is nice. The Marshal comes with 3 alternate hands. So he comes with a right fist. Let's try and get a focus here. A right fist. He comes with a left gripping, which could be used for a gun, and he comes with a left fist as well. All other accessories have been put onto the figures already, so let's get a close look at the figures and their other accessories and whatnot. So start with the Marshal again. So we see the Marshal here. I'll zoom out a little bit so it'll be easier to focus. There we go. So his sword comes out of the scabbard. It's a nice sword. Pretty cool. Has this command baton stroke mace. There's rather cool looking pistol, I have to say. Very steampunk. Looks pretty cool. Backpack's quite nice. There might be some moving parts in that. We'll check in a second. And this is how he looks. I'll move his cloak so you get a look sort of underneath. Maybe a bit of light, a bit extra light. So while you can take the cloak off, you still have the red parts on the arms, so that's something to think about. And it appears to be trousered or pantsed. You can see even got some highlighting going on there as well. It's a nice looking figure, it does have to be said. Pretty cool. Quite like the face. Let's look at the Datasmith. So accessories. Now, the thing I don't like, he's got this nice gun here, but they should have done just little hooks. You can unhook it. So he comes with this part which you attach here. This green one on his chest panel is loose. It comes in the box, so you can take it out and put it back in. No idea what these are. Maybe some can tell me. The other ones I think are fixed in place already. This arm part came loose and you can fix that on as well. Obviously, so I've done that. The backpack as well and so forth. Again, nice looking figure. Underneath his cloak, he's very chunky in his legs. Not much paintwork going on, but those legs are fantastic for doing sort of robot customs. Almost like an Iron Man Mark 1 suit custom, maybe. He does look nice. Just pushing a bit better. There we go. Loads of features, loads of details going on. Very, very cool. Okay, let's go back to the Marshal for his articulation and come back to the Datasmith again after the Marshal. You can see that I've posed the Marshal already in quite a wide stance, so that's quite encouraging. Let's take the accessories off. I leave the sword in a scabbard. Okay, articulation. Backpack, does that move? Okay, so you can rotate this part on the backpack. That's just a bendy thing, but I wouldn't move that if I was you. Head, left, right, up, down, side to side, pretty good. Shoulders all the way round, it should be, but that's getting in the way, the pauldron there. I think lateral raise is going to be poor. Yeah. Come on, JoyToy, sort out the lateral raise. That's not a good lateral raise. Other side again is going to be poor because of this sculpting on the cloak. Take the cloak off, will be slightly improved. Bicep bend is 90. Wrist is that same barbell system, so it's articulation all directions. I love this system. The only issue I find is it can be a bit loose sometimes if holding a heavy gun. He does have trunk, I can see, so he can go forwards and backwards with his waist as well, which is fantastic. Look at that. Really, really quite good. Perhaps a touch too loose, but he moves very, very well. Can turn from the waist. Hips, pretty good. Forwards on the hips is good. Backwards on the hips is, look at that. That's going to be a full split without the cloaks. Without the cloak, full splits without the cloak, I should say. There's a thigh turn. He has a double or single double kneecap, but the kneecap's a little bit ugly underneath, but it gets super, super tight. There is no boot turn. He does have a swivel. There's no toe articulation. He has a pretty good dorsiflexation, and he has a small, take that back, one foot's more than the other on this. He has a small tippy toe. So decent articulation. Lots of potential. But they're quite expensive, so to buy more for customs is like, yeah, you've got to be dedicated to that custom. Okay, and the Datasmith, this might take a little while with him. So many things. Top to bottom again. So the arm at the top, you can move from the base, you can move from the joint here, you can move from that joint there, you can move from there and the base. Okay. The fingers, this has no movement, but the other two have movement. The light has none that I can see. These things are just on a rubbery wire, so they don't really count. His head's going to be limited because of these cables, but he can look left and right. Not bad, actually. A lot better than I was thinking. Forwards, backwards is tiny. Side to side is pretty much non-existent. Arms again. This is not going to go well. He's all the way around. He's going nowhere on that. The pauldron appears to be attached to this, is it palisade? I can't remember. This part by his neck there, so he can't go all the way around. Lateral raise is probably a bit better than the Marshall. This side should be similar. Arms are different, obviously. His bicep bend, he's getting just under 90. But again, if you cut away the rubs, that'd be better. Same wrist articulation as the Marshall on the bull. This one, bicep bend is, again, less than 90. There's no, there's a turn here for this hand, but nothing else on that hand. His trunk is difficult to articulate, but trunk and waist, forwards, small, backwards is small, side to side is okay and can turn. Sorry, the front part here, this can turn from the base, the arm can open and close here, the fingers are fixed though. Legs going apart, this is going to be difficult for him because of the sculpt, but not bad all things considered. Forwards and backwards again is limited by the cloak, but it's pretty decent. Get a look at the sculpting underneath there, nice sort of robot legs. There should be a thigh twist, yep. There is a knee bend, it is a double knee bend, but the cloak gets in the way, but it's still very tight, all things considered. He has a tippy toe. He has a small left and right swivel. He has a tiny, if at all, dorsiflexation. He does have toe articulation though. So not bad considering everything that he's got on him. But again, I think those lower legs are great for making bulky robots. Let me just check the Marshall again. that there's no toe articulation. No toe articulation. Okay. Now let's get an idea of size. They say 11 point something on the box. I think they might be a bit smaller. You zoom in a little bit for this and let's have a look. Depends on going to the top of the head or top of the sort of part on the head. So if we go to the very, very top, we're around about 12. Top of the head is around about 10.5. And on the Datasmith, top of the head is around about 11. Very top, the way I've got imposed at the moment, so up to the top of here, we're looking at around about 16. Let's do a comparison. We zoom out a little bit for this. Okay, so I think first comparison, I will use a Necron, since they all a little bit similar in looks, being robotic as it were. I won't put his gun on, but let's see if I can balance that behind. And you can see how they scale with Necrons. Necrons are obviously taller. I think these guys look better. Let's use the Dark Angels Blade Guard Veteran I just reviewed recently. Stick in the middle. And he is bigger and far more bulkier, as you would expect. Let's take him out. And once again, I think I used the Chaos Terminator I reviewed a long time ago, but I used the other day in the comparison as well. And you see how they look compared to him too. Two nice figures. I think they look great. Articulation is limited in the shoulders and a little bit in the legs, but I think the potential for custom, so just general robotic, cybernetic, whatever figures of these guys is really, really high if you've got the money to afford spares and whatnot. Okay, this is Automatic signing out, saying please check out the Patreon because it's free for 7 days. See everything before it's published on YouTube, and it is worth checking out for the extras and competitions. I've got one running now, but the time you see this, it will have finished. And I've got another 2 competitions coming very soon, which you're not going to miss. Okay, I'll see you next video. Stay happy, keep collecting. Bye-bye.